Well, nice to meet you, everybody, and I see my wonderful friends as well, and I'm very happy to see you here. And today is 17th of March, and I lived in UK, I lived in Ireland, I lived here I live in Netherlands, I lived in France as well. So today is well, for anybody who has Irish connection, just a happy St. Patrick Day. And then, well, so today's topic is Japanese cuisine and um, life philosophy that I would like to add, because when it comes to Japanese food, you probably have I think everybody has already tasted sushi, and teppanyaki, sukiyaki, or teriyaki, many Japanese food. But today, what I'm going to talk about is something that you cannot really see in the menu or ask in a restaurant. Something a bit deeper, and why we eat certain foods and why we do certain manners as well. So so maybe chopsticks. Do you have chopsticks? So chopsticks is one of the most important, without chopstick, Japanese food also does not exist in a way. So I'm gonna explain about chopsticks later, but let me share the screen. So I'm going to start. So Japanese cuisine and life philosophy, and just 1 second. So you had already introduction. So I'm Azumi Uchitani and based in the Netherlands. And if you would like to know more or like to read, please go to my website, azumiuchitani.com. And also in the YouTube channel, Japanese Salon. I have about 20, 25 videos on Japanese wisdom. So welcome to visit. So this is where I'm from, Wakayama. You can see it's with the sea and mountain. And Japan is surrounded by the sea and mountains. So we have I was also brought up with the fresh fish just from the sea. And also we have a beautiful river, we have mountains. So really abundance of food. And this is a place, land of nature and spirituality and great foods. And you can also stay in the temple in Mount Koya, sacred mountains, and you can also taste, even for the Japanese people, this is one of the kind of the resort or holiday, short holiday destination to come to eat fresh fish and fresh, then experience the spirituality and also like in onsen. So if you ever like to go to Japan, I would very much recommend. And this is a place of origin of soy sauce. It started from tamari shoyu in the temple in the 13th century. So I'm going to also explain about some of the key Japanese ingredients that we need to use for cooking. And this is the two of the remarkable global leaders, the Aikido, founder of Aikido and founder of Panasonic. And so they are brought up with this food too. Okay, today's topic, what's on the menu and the cultural meaning and principle of Japanese cuisine. So, and just I want to let you know, this is not going to be about the cooking or about the variety of Japanese food, but as I said, I go a bit deeper. So, origin of Japanese cuisine. Eating is a ritual, and transform our eating routine, what we can actually incorporate into our European lifestyle to bring our life more in harmony and peaceful with eating. So just I'd like to introduce you this. This is my family home in Wakayama. It was last year, no, this year in January, 1st of January, due to the COVID. Our family had no visitors, so it was quiet. But this is to show the New Year's celebration. In the back here, you see mochi. This is a rice cake. So this is offering. You can also see lots of offering. Okay? And this is sake. And then this is the, it's called osechi. It's a Japanese celebration meal and local fish. So this is how we celebrate. This is a New Year brunch. I don't know if you have ever seen, but this is also the ritual. Like, for example, in Christmas here in Europe, you have also, it depends on the country, but in UK, you eat turkey. But in Japan, this New Year's, to start New Year is really like the ritual. So you can see all the ingredients here, osechi called. It has a meaning of a longevity of life, or etc., etc. So in Japan, eating is also started from the kind of rituals to bring our life, well, to bring more happiness, or to stay healthy, and also for the prosperity as well. So in summer, for example, it's called Obon. It is a Buddhism ancestry healing, and we have also a different type of offering to the altar, and then we eat that later. And also here in spring now, a different offering we give to the altars, and we later eat. And for example, daily meals, you can also see in Japanese style breakfast, we have rice, we have miso soup, and we have like pickles. And lunch, we have rice again. And then some, this is vegetarian meal that I recently had in a bento style. And then in dinner, I haven't actually put rice, but we also have rice. And sometimes in a restaurant like this, a very decorative, beautiful style of cuisine. And so we eat with 5 senses, or maybe 6 senses. So we use our eyes, and we enjoy looking at the food and enjoy smelling and tasting. And then the hearing side is also like the crunch of the vegetables. And then the touch, we have also different texture. And like this is onigiri rice ball. And so, and then 6 senses to connect to our higher self with our joy. So we have a prayer called, it sounds like, if I say prayer, it sounds too formal, but well, it is actually a prayer before eating. We say itadakimasu. So it is equivalent to bon appetit or enjoy your meal, however, with a different context. So itadakimasu is a phrase that we say before eating and also receiving a gift. So it means to receive anything with gratitude and give thanks to, for example, for the food, not only the person who gave to you, but also how the food was brought to the table, like it could be from the supermarket, farmers, and the sun, and rains, and everything that actually helped to grow the vegetables or fish or whatever. So we give thanks to the nature and also to the universe. So whenever we eat, or even sometimes when we are served to drink tea, we say itadakimasu, thank you, to the divine energy people call God, or the higher energy that's actually keep our body going, keep our nature going. And so that is the principle. One of the principle of eating is to appreciate and to give thanks to. So this is just I would like to explain where this philosophy or this way of thinking is coming from. And this is actually from the Japanese life philosophy. It's a bit difficult to say religion, well, it can be religion, but Shinto. And Shinto started, it's like a paganism, no dogma, no founder, and we have the mythology and basically God is nature. So nature, God is in nature, and we are nature is much greater. Like Christianity, if I were wrong, please let me know. But God and people and nature, in a way. But in Japan, this is also different from other Asian countries. So this is very original, and if you like to understand the real, the root of Japanese philosophy, you can also look into Shinto. It's very, very simple. It's born to protect community, family, and live harmony with nature. And so we actually purify our body, our energy. And then we try to be as pure as possible. So that's like, for example, if you go to the Japanese shrine, we wash hands, and we also do the cleansing with salt, and then we actually bring the offering and the fresh produce like vegetables or like fruits. And so that's the origin of Japanese cuisine, and most of the Japanese traditional household has this type of altar for Shinto. It's different from Buddhism. And there, the food, it started as a food is for gods. And foods play a role to connect to the gods. So actually between us and the gods, there is a food. So the food was to thank the gods to bring it. Then later we eat. So we were actually in this altar as well, just little things. It's actually started with rice, and then we bring this to the altar, the fresh produce, in the most beautiful way. So then the ritual to offer food to the gods, and then the act of eating has become a ritual. So for Shinto, we have sacred food called rice, salt, sake, and mochi is also from rice. It's a rice cake that you saw earlier in my family photo in the backside. So these are the basic, they are all white. And they are the basic Japanese kind of sacred food, especially rice. So the rice is most important. Well, people say it's a staple food, but rice is most sacred for food for the Japanese people. The rice is a gift from the god. It is sacred. It is, sorry, mistake here. It originated from the Shinto mythology Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. She used rice and also this, what is called, the leaves, and this as one of her rituals. And it's actually stated in the mythology, and then rice became to be used for rituals. So ritual to wish happiness on the nations, and thanks the nature and thank the produce of rice. So as I mentioned earlier, we have breakfast, lunch. We have rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And like when I was a child, I was taught, well, I cannot even leave one piece of rice in a rice bowl, because we have the saying, 7 gods in the, something went wrong. Yeah. 7 gods in one piece of rice. So treat every piece with respect and never leave it. So so we were actually brought up at schools and also, well, in the family and at school. So we treat, when we see this white, beautiful rice, and it is sacred. So rice brings back our key energy as well. And this is the saying, like rice is really the source of our Japanese energy, life energy. So then you can think of sushi. The rice, that white part, is so important. So it looks like, okay, what's on the top is, of course, the fresh seafood is also important. But rice, to eat rice, just a very delicious rice, just as in white, is also like, also I feel like, wow, like coming home, that kind of feeling. So we have also different type of rice. I don't know if anybody in the audience from Italy or other parts who eat also lots of rice. We have different, different parts of different type of rice, and for us it is really like a pleasure and joy to eat the best quality rice, to be served the best quality rice. So then sometimes, like in the modern kind of fusion sushi, and there are many things around it. It's also delicious in a different way, but also we enjoy the pure white rice prepared with rice vinegar as a sushi rice. So that's how Japanese are brought up and how we still appreciate. And other ingredients, for example, sake, other sacred produce of Japan, or the food of Japan. Well, sake is actually a drink, but the sake, if you go to Japanese Shinto shrine, this is Shinto shrine. These are all sake barrel. It's all sake. So sake is to show the gods how beautifully the rice is transformed into the sacred drink. So it means that, we give sake to the gods, and then we show how beautiful we made it for the gods. So for the sake lover, it sounds like a great excuse, but yeah, sake is made made of rice, and also with a very pure water. So sake is a sacred drink. And then even as a child, in the morning of 1st of January, to celebrate New Year, and it was a ritual that the head of the household, which is in my case was my grandfather, served, and then we all share the little bit, and that was really the ritual of the start of the year. And also in Shinto shrine, when you go on the New Year's Day, you are served with sake. So sake is a sacred drink. And the salt is used to purify our body, environment, and also energy. So you can also, I also use in this house to put the salt at the corner of the house and to clear the energy. But of course, for the food as well, as you do here, we also use salt. And the basic ingredients that we need, ingredient condiment, what we need to prepare Japanese foods are these 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Both are made from rice and soybeans. So shoyu, soy sauce, as you know, and miso. It's a fermented soybean paste, miso soup, and you have probably tasted. And mirin, it's actually, its English translation is rice wine, but it's a bit like sake, but it's with more sugar and then has less alcohol. But mirin is a bit like sherry. The taste is a bit like sherry, and we use for cooking. So they are shoyu and mirin. If you have shoyu and mirin at home, you can cook quite a lot of Japanese food. And then komesu is kome is the rice, su is vinegar. It's a rice vinegar. And then that we use to make sushi rice. And also Japanese pickles are made with rice vinegar. So just these four, and we don't use spice. And instead of spices or spice or herbs, we have other herbs, like for example, shiso herbs, but they are more like a vegetable. And then, so these four are really the basic and simple ingredients that we use, and it depends on the amount. For example, if you mix with soy sauce, shoyu, and mirin at the same amount and mix it, you can make teriyaki sauce already. But if you want to make a kind of Japanese stew, and then you mix with shoyu and mirin in a different quantity, and then together with a bit of more sugar or something like that, then you can make a Japanese style, to make kind of stewed vegetable or something like that. And also miso is not only for miso soup, but also for marinating fish, or we eat also together with vegetables. And so there depends on the quantity. We can quite make different type of meals out of it. So because they are so simple, as I show you, this shoyu is from my region, and then we make also lots of how can I say, fuss is not a good word, but we put energy to find the best shoyu, like like you try to find a good olive oil. And for example, miso as well. You can make miso at home, like my mother make. And so these, like shoyu, rice, for example, rice, also we try to find, for the special occasion, we try to find the best quality. And to go to find shoyu, like buying a wine in France as well, you go to different places and taste a little bit, and it is a fun activity as well. So we enjoy from the preparation. And let's see. Now I think, and I hope that you can see the sushi from a different point of view than you did before. So what's behind sushi now? So you see sushi with rice, this sacred rice, and then seasonal produce, like the fish of the season that they were caught freshly, and also some vegetables, which is also seasonal. So sushi is a sacred dialogue of serving and being served. So if you go to sushi bar in Japan, the chef has been trained. They are craftsmen, and they are they make art. It's like the Japanese sword, maker. So for them, that's their life of training to make the best possible every time. Then ichigo ichie means one meeting in a lifetime. So this is also encounter between the sushi chef and also the customer. And then to enjoy that moment that never comes back again, because the timing will be different, and what's the fish will be different. And so we try to enjoy that moment, not speaking so much language, so much in words, but with the exchange of energy and exchange of food. And then there's another, it's called Shuhari, it's a Japanese philosophy. It's the art of mastery. So the sushi chef has gone through 3 stages, from the basic, preparing the basic, and the trial, and then making it in his own style. So it is also to show our respect to see his performance. So then also sushi chef has a relationship with well, their master and also their supplier and their customers. And there is also hierarchy between master and apprentice. So to be a real like a trained like a sushi chef, it is a lifetime training. And of course now it has become so easy to get the like license or to learn, and that is also okay for for easy sushi making. But in a more traditional way, it is about yeah, encounters and the sacred rituals. Then you can also experience definition of beauty, definition of space, and enjoy the season, geography, where you are in, because then you can eat the local produce. And then everything's delicate when you experience sushi, because also because it's so simple, and then the texture is different, and your mouth delights in every bite. So then we also take time, and then it becomes a ritual. So eating as a ritual, so that's about Japanese cuisine. And because, as I mentioned earlier, like we have so many different types of food, from the breakfast, and also during the lunch, we might be difficult to take time. But even so, there are kind of local restaurants in the office district to eat, to have quick noodles to sit down and enjoy. So then eating is really like, we don't have to wait until grand holiday to enjoy eating, but in everyday life, in the morning as well, it also becomes popular to eat different bread from the nice bakery, Western style bakeries. But then we try to enjoy and the moment of eating. So even for lunch, we have like bento box, or also we have sandwich as well. It's possible, and doesn't matter what we can access, but we really enjoy, and it becomes part of our moments, and of instead of doing yoga or meditation, great, we need them, but also while eating, and eating the using chopsticks, also part of like connecting together with the body and nature and higher self, or God, or whatever in your language and we call the higher energy. So then, even for example, if we say the chopstick, and I was actually telling Ina that there are somebody in the past, in the history, made a list of called kiraibashi. That's the action, the taboo action of using chopstick. We have 40 different taboos of using chopstick. Like, for example, we cannot actually like poke something, poke the food with chopstick, or like we cannot actually shake the chopstick or something. And we have 40, not 1-4, but 40. And it has meaning, these actions. So I actually talked about this in TED Talk. So if you're interested, then you can also watch that. But what I wanted to say is that eating, because the food has to be respected. So the way we use chopstick is also it's like a dance as well. And when my client asked me, so then I cannot remember 40 years, of course, but the only things we do with chopstick is to bring the food from where it is to the mouth, and otherwise it's rest in the like chopstick holder at the table. But then, like for example, for children's, and also I also taught my son, like when we eat, we have to sit straight. But then if children or teenagers say, oh no, I don't want to do. But then the reason behind is that I also explain, and that the best explanation was also to bring our body in harmony. And so manners create harmonies, and then the movement of posture. So it's like when the food is going into our mouth, then it has to go down. So it helps if we sit straight and harmonious. And so that's also behind Japanese eating as well. So not just to be nice lady or gentleman, but also it helps. It's like as I said, with yoga posture, there's certain posture that's has every meanings and every effect. And while eating Japanese food is also, yeah, um, um, we can actually use that as well. And you may have seen, of course, there are some in Japanese cartoon or something. Noodle eating was like really quick and making mess, and that is another thing, and that also exists. But in general, like to eat slowly and to appreciate food, and that is kind of the traditional way to take time, to allocate time, even in the most difficult day. Then ritual of season, we celebrate and make it festive to eat at the seasonal produce. So like if you have Japanese people around here, around your, as your friends or colleagues, and we love also European seasonal produce. So here, asparagus is coming up soon, and I'm really looking forward to. And I also talk with my Japanese friends, how are we going to cook asparagus? Maybe with try with some soy sauce. Or so then Japanese eating doesn't mean that we only eat Japanese food, but also we are open to try and celebrate other food that we can access to. And then again, we actually thank the universe. So if you go to Japan, you can see so many different type of foods, French, Italian, even Scandinavians these days, and like Mediterraneans, and many type Chinese, of course, Asian food, Thai, Vietnamese. There are many different type of restaurants, and because we are curious and to try, and we are foodie as well. So then combination of season and then different geography, then we try to make what's possible. Then ritual of itadakimasu. So as I explained before eating, we put our hands together, and then we say itadakimasu. And then we thank nature and everything that's brought to us. And I feel I do by my, like automatically, even when I'm eating, just as to start. And so that's, it's a nice kind of, for me, it is nice to connect to, and also to tell my body that food is coming. So the ritual of harmony. So together with the family, friends, but also when we are alone. We try to make this harmony. And the one thing that I like to also tell, maybe in the questions maybe come up, but in Japan we don't say, for example, in Buddhism temple they only serve vegetables called shojin ryori, like a vegetarian meals or vegan meals. But as a person, it is so rare to say, "Oh, I'm vegetarian" or "I'm vegan," and I have certain allergies, and then there's certain food I cannot eat. But in Japan, we also say, well, okay, if there are certain food we cannot eat, we say I cannot take this because of that. But we are more open to receive. We do not restrict to be something. Most of the population. So even if you're vegetarian and if there is no medical reason or no diet reasons, then we are quite open to try. So then we create harmony, and so it becomes fun as well, and joy. So it was quite quick, but that's from my side, and I like to to change this to interaction questions, Q&A sessions.